Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Kerry. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet a starfish. When crocheted using 8-ply yarn and a 3mm hook, the large one, the size is 12.5 centimeters wide by 12.5 centimeters or 5 inches wide by 5 inches. This medium starfish crocheted using 4-ply crochet cotton and a 1.5mm hook is 9 centimeters wide by 9 centimeters or 3.5 inches wide by 3.5 inches. The small starfish crocheted using 2-ply crochet cotton and a 1mm hook is 7 centimeters wide by 7 centimeters or 2 3/4 inches wide by 2 3/4 inches. I'll be using Catona cotton today, so the size will be somewhere between the large one and the medium one. Now I'll be using Catona cotton. I've got 201 electric blue. I've got sewing thread and a needle to stitch a starfish together, a 2.5mm crochet hook, a darning needle to weave in the ends, and scissors. The starfish is worked in two sections. I've got the bottom section and a top section. I'm going to start on this bottom section. I've got my 201, the electric blue cotton, and I'm going to start with a magic loop. There's lots of ways to make a magic loop, so make it how you feel most comfortable. I just put my hook on the yarn and bring the short end over the hook and the long end over the short end to make a circle. I put the yarn around the hook and bring my hook with the yarn at the end through the circle, and that's my magic loop. Then I work 2 chain. The 2 chain doesn't count as a stitch. Into my circle I'm going to work 15 double crochet. A double crochet is a treble using UK terms. For a double crochet we put the yarn around the hook, hook in through the circle and bring back a loop, yarn around the hook and take our hook with this yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 more loops. That's the first double crochet. I need 14 more double crochet into my circle. Now there's my 15 double crochet into the circle. I'm going to pull the circle tight, so I take hold of this tail and just ease it in as tight as I can. And I join with the slip stitch in top of the first stitch. So not the 2 chain, that stitch there. I put my hook into that stitch, bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook. For row 2 I start with 2 chain, that doesn't count as a stitch either, and I'm going to work 2 double crochet into each stitch. I'll have 30 stitches, so 2 double crochet in each stitch, including where I've got my chain. Now I've got my 30 double crochet worked around the circle, and I join with a slip stitch in the top of the first stitch, so just in there. For row 3 I start with 10 chain, that's for the first section. I miss the first chain and work one single crochet into each remaining chain. A single crochet is a double crochet using UK terms. For a single crochet we put the hook into the stitch, bring through a loop, put the yarn around the hook and take our hook with the yarn at the end through the 2 loops. So one single crochet in each remaining chain will have 9 single crochet. Then we slip stitch in the same place as our chain and slip stitch in each of the next 6 stitches. And then we work 10 chain. We miss the first chain and work one single crochet in each remaining chain. We slip stitch in the same stitch as our chain and then slip stitch in each of the next 6 stitches. We work 10 chain. We miss the first chain and work one single crochet in each remaining chain. We slip stitch in the same stitch as our chain and then slip stitch in each of the next 6 stitches. Then we work 10 chain. We miss the first chain and work one single crochet in each remaining chain. We slip stitch in the same stitch as the chain and then slip stitch in each of the next 6 stitches. We work 10 chain. We miss the first chain and work one single crochet in each remaining chain. Slip stitch in the same stitch as the chain and slip stitch into each of the next 3 stitches. And that's the end of row 3. For row 4, we're going to work up around these spokes, so on each side of them. So we're going to start with one double crochet in each of the first 3 stitches in the back of the chain there. So one double crochet in each of the first 3 stitches, just into that loop there at the back of the chain. Then we're going to work one half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches in the back of those chains. A half double crochet is a half treble using UK terms. For a half double crochet, we put the yarn around the hook, hook into the stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take our hook with this yarn at the end through all the loops. So a half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Then we're going to work one single crochet into the back loop of each of the last 3 stitches. And we'll work 2 single crochet just in the top of the chain there, that little loop. Now we're going to work down the other side. I'm just going to work into the back loop. So one single crochet into each of the first 3 stitches. Then one half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. and 1 double crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. And then we slip stitch into the top of row 3 about halfway across, so just in about here, just a slip stitch. And now we're going to work around the next spoke. So 1 double crochet into each of the first 3 stitches, one half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, one single crochet into each of the last 3 stitches, and 2 single crochet in the top of the chain. And down the other side we work 1 single crochet into each of the first 3 stitches, one half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, and 1 double crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. Then slip stitch halfway between the 2 spokes. I'll just go through a couple more stitches there to make it get it a bit more even along the bottom. And then we'll work up the other side. 1 double crochet into each of the first 3 stitches, one half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, and 1 single crochet into each of the last 3 stitches, two single crochet into the top of the chain there, one single crochet into each of the first 3 stitches down the other side, one half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, and 1 double crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. Then slip stitch halfway between the two spokes. And then we work 1 double crochet into each of the first 3 stitches up the next spoke. One half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And 1 single crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. Work 2 double crochet in the top of the chain, and then 1 single crochet in each of the first 3 stitches down the other side. One half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And 1 double crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. And then slip stitch in the center between the 2 spokes. And we've got 1 more to work. We work 1 double crochet into each of the first 3 stitches. One half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And 1 single crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. Two single crochet into the top of the chain, then 1 single crochet in each of the first 3 stitches down the other side, one half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, and 1 double crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. Then slip stitch in the bottom next to where we started and fasten off. Now that's the bottom section of the starfish done. Now for this top section I've still got my 210, the electric blue, and I start with a magic loop. and I work 13 chain. I miss the first chain and work 1 slip stitch into the next chain, and then I work 1 chain, and I slip stitch into the following chain and work 1 chain, and I repeat that down to the magic loop. Slip stitch into the next chain and work 1 chain, and then slip stitch into the following chain and work 1 chain, and just repeat that down over all the chain. And then I slip stitch into my magic loop and work 13 chain. I miss the first chain and slip stitch into the next chain and work 1 chain, and slip stitch into the following chain and work 1 chain, and repeat that over all the chain. Then I slip stitch into the magic loop and work 13 chain. I miss the first chain and work a slip stitch in the next chain, and then work 1 chain, slip stitch in the following chain and work 1 chain, and repeat that over all the chain. And then slip stitch into the magic loop and work 13 chain. That's our first 3 done. Now we'll work the 13 chain. And this one's worked the same. We miss the first chain and work a slip stitch in the next chain, work 1 chain and slip stitch in the following chain, and repeat that down our chain. We slip stitch into the circle and then work 13 chain for our last section. We miss the first chain and slip stitch into the next chain. Work 1 chain and slip stitch into the following chain, and repeat that down over all our chain. Once we get back to our magic loop, we slip stitch into that. We've got 5 sections, so we pull our circle tight and fasten off. Now that's the 2 sections work, so I'll just weave in those ends and I'll be back and we'll put it together. Now there's the 2 pieces. I've got the bottom of the starfish, which could also be used for a star, and the top of the starfish. To put it together, I just position the centre in the centre of the bottom of the starfish, and I'll just stitch it down just in the middle of each of the arm parts. So just in there, so I'll stitch it down and I'll be back to show you the finished starfish. There's the finished starfish. The size is 10 centimetres wide by 10 centimetres or 4 inches wide by 4 inches. If you've liked my video, please like, subscribe and share. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter. The details are in the description below, along with the details of my website where I have my patterns, the details of my Facebook group and the details of my Patreon. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.